G'day and welcome to Gardening Australia Junior. Dirt. There's nothing better than gathering up a whole lot of it and investigating what's inside. So, let's get detecting.
Detectives.
What do you see?
This dirt is very wet.
Very interesting indeed. I'll add that to our dirt clue data.
Hi, Matilda. Hi, Molly. What are you up to down there?
We're on an investigation.
Yep. Today, we're dirt detectives.
We're figuring out what's in dirt and soil in our garden so we can get to know our plants better.
That sounds like a super fun case. You wouldn't happen to need a dirt detective deputy, would you?
Yes?
Okay.
Okay, we need to collect a lot more clues before we can crack this case.
Yeah. Come on, dirt detectives. Dirt is afoot.
Clarence.
Junior Gardeners.
Hi, I am Lillian and today I'm going to be showing you my worm farm. Worms love wriggling around in the soil, which lets more air and water get into it. Worms love eating our food scraps and their poo and wee is full of nutrients, which makes the soil nice and healthy. And all the fruit and veggies in our garden love it. Worms turn soil into super soil, and they help us turn this into this. So, if you love gardening and blueberries, you should get a worm farm.
Interesting. Very interesting.
What do you see, Molly?
This dirt seems to be very gritty and kind of dry too. I wonder if it needs some water.
How very interesting that this soil just happens to be where the cacti and succulent plants are. I'm going to have to make a note of this in my dirt data clues.
Over here, I found some more dirt clues.
What have you found?
Well, this dirt is very sticky, and also some parts here look a little crumbly.
Well, that's very confusing. Does it need water or not?
I'm not quite sure, but this bottle brush plant seems to be doing well here.
Very interesting work, dirt detectives.
But all this dirt detecting isn't really helping us figure out what each type of soil is, though.
Yeah. I think that we should take some of this dirt evidence back to base to investigate further.
Yeah, playing with mud. I've been waiting all day for this.
Birds. Hi, I'm Marcus and I love birds. Did you know that you can find different types of soil all over Australia? But how does it get spread around? Introducing the lyrebird. This very strange creature lives on the east coast of Australia. It has many special talents, like mimicking any sound it hears. Wait, was that a kookaburra? And then a space laser? Whoa! Lyrebirds eat bugs and insects off the forest floor, which means they need to dig and scratch around to find their food. They do this with their powerful legs, long toes and claws, which happen to also drag up leaves and soil, moving it all around town. It digs more soil than any other digging animal. Thank you, lyrebird, for helping us spread healthy and nutritious soil around for all of our plants. We love your work.
Okay, it's time to analyse our dirt evidence.
I'll go first with evidence sample number 1. First, I need to add a little water so I can feel the texture. This soil is really sticky, just like what I saw in the garden.
This was the sample that was around the native bottle brush plants.
Oh, and look at this. It rolls perfectly into a mud sausage roll.
So, since it rolls perfectly and stays together, what does that mean?
My dirt clue data indicates that this is clay soil. It gets really dry and crumbly without moisture, but if you add too much water, it can be very heavy and sticky.
It's pretty heavy.
This means it doesn't contain much air, but it can absorb water really easily, and it has a lot of nutrients.
Excellent detecting. Now, let's go on to evidence sample number 2.
Ah, yes. Now, this sample we got from around the cacti and succulent plants.
There. After a bit of water, it's very gritty and kind of feels a lot like wet sand. And look, I can't even make it into a mud sausage roll.
That's a little disappointing.
Well, my dirt clue data says that this is for a reason. Now, your dirt sample is called sandy soil, and it doesn't hold water very well because it's very grainy like sand,
Yeah, it falls apart really easily.
which means it also doesn't hold nutrient very well.
Another sample sold.
Well done, team. Now, on to our final sample, sample number 3.
This one was all around the veggie patch.
I wonder what this one will be.
Well, it looks to be a little of both. It's clay-like, it's sticky, it's sandy, it's gritty. And look, if I roll it into a mud sausage roll, it sort of holds, but then it falls apart.
What does that mean then?
Yeah, is there anything like that in our dirt clue data?
Actually, yes. Now, the data suggests that this is loam dirt. Now, this is a combination of sand and clay and something called silt that washes down from the rivers. It's really smooth and silky.
I know. It's like a wacky dirt scientist did an experiment and combined all the soils together.
Well, you're right. Sorta. It's probably been mixed up in the garden.
Well, that's case closed then. Good job, dirt detectives. We did it.
That's right. Let's get our soil samples back to where we got them.
Big picture.
Hi, my name's Emily and I'm an environmental soil scientist. As we know, different types of soil are good for different types of plants. Clay soils hold moisture well, so they're good for plants and big trees that like lots of water. Sandy soil lets water pass through it easily, so they're good for things like cacti, succulents and some native plants. We often need to grow crops and plants in soils that previously couldn't support them. Part of my job is to travel to different environments to test the soil there. I check the pH levels by adding a solution to the soil. That lets me see what minerals are available. If the solution turns green, the soil is acidic, and that's good for plants like camellias and rhododendrons. If the solution turns purple, the soil is alkaline, and that's good for herbs like rosemary and some natives like bottle brushes. Once we know what's in the soil, we can add different minerals and organic matter to it, and we can help new plants thrive. Improving soil health gives all plants the best chance to grow big and strong no matter where they are.
A lot of plants can't tolerate sandy soil, but cacti and succulent plants thrive in it. The sandy soil provides lots of drainage and air because it doesn't hold moisture too well. So, because cacti and succulent plants don't need a lot of water, the sandy soil is perfect.
Bottle brush or callistemum plants are really tough and have flourished in clay soil in Australia for thousands of years. They can survive floods and long hot summers. So even though the soil gets dry and cracked in summer, it fills quickly with water when it rains, providing bottle brush plants with everything they need.
Vegetables grow quickly and many only live for a few months. So they need pampering, the perfect amount of food and water all the time, which is why they grow best in loamy soil and do well with lots of yummy compost. Well, dirt detectives, I think our work here is done for today. What do you think?
No, definitely not.
Yeah, Clarence, there's always more dirt detecting to do in the garden.
But as our dirt detective deputy, you can have a rest. You look quite tired.
Look, Molly, more dirt is afoot.
Yes, onwards to our next case.
There's so many different kinds of dirt and soil in our gardens to match all varieties of plant life. So what are you waiting for? Go on and get out there. You never know what magic you might create.